Alright trainers, TaeganAdventures here. So, Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield have been announced as the latest installments to the Pokémon series last week. So, if you've been paying attention online, there has been this rumor floating around on the internet basically predicting a few things about Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield. So far, the first two statements of this leaker's rumor have been correct. Pokémon Sword and Pokémon Shield are indeed the two titles in the Pokémon series, and the regions indeed based off Great Britain. But the next few statements, particularly the legendary Pokemon being a metal snake and a wooden horse, kind of sounds a bit fishy. Anyway, these are rumors, so they're meant to be taken with a grain of salt here. Definitely do not take these rumors as gospel. So anyway, speaking of these supposed legendary Pokemon, that is what I'll be discussing today on the Choice Specs. What I think the legendary Pokemon for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield would be. So without further ado, let us dive right into the video. So I think the Pokemon Sword and Shield legendaries will be a legendary trio, one exclusive to Pokemon Sword, one exclusive to Pokemon Shield, and another that is available in both games, just like Dialga, Palkia, and Platinum in the Gen 4 games, the Sinnoh games, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. It is also very likely that the Sword exclusive will be based on offense, while the Shield exclusive will be based on defense. I did a bit of research about the symbolisms of a sword and a shield, and I found that the sword actually represents courage and the shield represents faith and loyalty. As for what I think the Sword and Shield exclusive legendary Pokemon will be, I think maybe the sword one can be based on a dragon. This dragon symbolizes courage, so definitely I can see it in a UK based region, especially if you look at the flag of Wales, which is in the UK. It has a red dragon on the front, which definitely could come into play when designing the legendary for Pokemon Sword. I am not Gamefreak, so I'm not in control of the design of the legendary. It is up to Gamefreak to take their own creative liberties with these legendaries, but if I were in control of designing the legendaries, I would give this dragon legendary a steel and fighting type with the ability Chivalry, which is a new ability which gives stab moves without priority a +1 priority, so every Iron Head, every Sacred Sword, every Smart Strike is going to get +1 priority. As for its signature move, I'll be giving it Smart Strike. I know a lot of Pokemon already have Smart Strike, but Smart Strike is a common trope among Sword Pokemon, or at least Blade-like Pokemon like Kartana, like Aegislash. So definitely Smart Strike is going to be a suitable candidate for a Sword-based Pokemon here, especially with the ability I've given it Chivalry, where Smart Strike is going to benefit off that stab and it's going to get +1 priority. For its stats, I would picture it to be a glass cannon, very fast, very hard hitting, but pretty mediocre defenses. You want to bank on the attack and the speed stat, physical attack for that matter actually. So yeah, that is my idea for the Sword exclusive legendary. As for the Shield exclusive legendary, I think it would be appropriate to base it off a unicorn. If you look on the UK's coat of arms, you can see a unicorn right on there. The other animal being a lion actually. We just got a lion legendary in Generation 7 in the form of Solgaleo, so I do not think we will be getting another lion legendary in Generation 8. As for its typing, I think a Steel Ground would be the most appropriate. Why ground? Because someone with a strong loyalty and faith can be said to be a grounded person. Someone grounded in faith is someone very religious, very faithful, which is very appropriate. The UK being a highly religious country, primarily Christianity or Catholic. As for its ability, I want to give it a new ability again I've come up with, Shield of Faith. You're kind of like risking your own life in the defense of your allies or your teammates, kind of like a sacrificial lamb of sorts to your own party members. Shield of Faith increases your defense by 2 stages when hit by a super effective move, more specifically your physical defense actually. If you look at the stats for the Shield exclusive legendary, you can see it's kind of more of a tank, very slow but very high defense and special defense right there. HP is like a very middling, but definitely meant for a tanking role right there. For the signature move, I'll be giving it King's Shield. Currently the only Pokemon with King's Shield is Aegislash, but really when Aegislash has its own gimmick already behind King's Shield. I'm not so sure how it will translate to the Shield exclusive legendary, but I think it will work a similar way to Aegislash's King's Shield, just without a form change. So what about the Pokemon that is both in Sword and Shield? Now, I think it will be based on an armored wolf. Judging by the logos of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, we do see a wolf head on both the logos there, so I think a wolf Pokemon would be very appropriate, especially since we got stylized logos in X and Y, where the logos of Pokemon X and Y are based off the legendaries of the respective games. So yeah, I think the logos could be a nod to Kalos, the X and Y games. As for its typing, I decided to give it Dark and Rock, same as Tyranitar. Whenever I picture a wolf, I always picture a nocturnal animal that's howling at the moon, hence the dark type. Rock, because I think rock is a common trope for a wolf legendary, especially since Lycanroc is already a rock type, and T-Tar is another ferocious animal with the rock typing, so definitely I can see this new wolf legendary having the rock typing as well. For its ability, I would give it Sturdy. I know it's not a new ability, but I think for an armored wolf that is full of valor and nobility, I think Sturdy will allow it some staying power. And of course, it has the stats to back it up too. It's pretty tanky, has a very high physical attack, so it's very bulky in the physical side indeed, a very bulky attacker. Definitely, I can see this armored wolf Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, especially when in the Galar region map you see a wolf on a castle right there, that one wolf monument on a castle that really screams wolf legendary right there. And speaking of that wolf monument right there, doesn't that wolf kind of look like a chimera of sorts to you? So that kind of reminds me of fusion back in Generation 5 and Black 2 White 2. We did get the concept of fusion with Kyurem and the two forms, Black Kyurem and White Kyurem. And in Generation 7 in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we did get the forms of Necrozma, Duskmane, and Dawnwing's Necrozma. So I was thinking that Generation 8 could do a similar thing with the Armored Evolution being rumored. Again, you can't exactly trust that rumor, but being rumored that Armored Evolution will take place, I think sort of this fusion hybridization idea can also be a thing in Generation 8. So basically this wolf will be fusing with the exclusive legendaries in both games, Sword and Shield. So it will produce a Dragon Wolf hybrid for Sword and a Unicorn Wolf hybrid for Shield. So I'm just going to go over the stats real quick. For the Dragon Wolf hybrid in Sword, so it's kind of got the same thing going for it. The Steel Fighting type, the same ability in Chivalry, of course the same symbolism of courage, and is pretty much a glass cannon as well. Pretty middling HP stat, a pretty mediocre defense, and of course pretty trashy special attack and special defense. Apart from that, it's a pretty fast and hard-hitting Pokemon. For the Shield exclusive Pokemon, it also bears the same theme of courage, the Steel Ground type, just like the original Shield legendary, the original unfused Shield legendary. Same signature move and ability. And as for the stat distribution, it's kind of like slightly buffed. 188 defense and special defense. Again, it's not really that fast of a Pokemon. Pretty garbage attack stat. I've kind of buffed its special attack a bit, but it's still pretty middling and mediocre. Of course, I did give it a slight stat increase, a slight increase in its base stat total. Apart from that, I can't really see anything else apart from a more buff version of the fusions when the Wolf and the region legendary, the game exclusive legendaries, are being fused together. So yeah, it's kind of like the Kyurem Black, the Kyurem White, or the Necrozma forms of the respective games. So yeah, pretty interesting thoughts to think about actually. Note that my video today is purely speculation based. This is just my opinion, so again, take whatever you hear today with a pinch of salt, like you do with all rumors on the internet. Do not fully trust even my speculations. You can't really fully trust speculations until the games are announced, but it is fun to indeed speculate and put your own theories out there. And if you have your own theories of your own, put them down in the comments. And if you have your own suggestions and ideas on what I should cover next, definitely leave them in the comments as well. Ideas I find good may be turned into their own videos, so definitely drop some ideas down in the comments below if you have any. If you have any theories or responses to what I have said today, definitely drop them down in the comments. I would love to hear from you what you have in store. So yeah, I'm going to be signing off right now. This has been TaeganAdventures, and I shall see you soon. Peace out.